timing of the lighting could not have been more perfect. Vadonai Shamayim Asa. God has created the heavens and the light that came on. It was amazing. Rejoice within the islands. Page 14. Try it with me now.
Zamru l'Adonai
יסיס עלייך אלוהי כי זכותן על כלליך לי גרת כלה ונשמה נקבלה ימין ושמאל תפארתי ותרני תעריצי על יריש ונפרתי ונשמחה ונגיל עליך דודי לי קרת כלה Shabbat Shalom. Welcome your neighbors. It's a good time to welcome them during these 10 days of repentance as we enter the final stretch before Yom Kippur. We're reminded we're supposed to approach those we have wronged in the past and perhaps try to make amends. Teshuvah. We return, page 22. Mizmor Shel Yom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot la'Adonai u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. It's good to give thanks to God and sing God's name on high. Let's do that together with an open heart, an open mind, open mouths. We're going to sing. Mizmor Shir leYom HaShabbat. להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך באמונתך בלילות טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך באמונתך בלילות על העשור בלהבל על היגיון בקינות אני אדוני לפועליך למעשה ידיך הרנה טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך התפללו, מה גדלו מעשיך היה, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מה גדלו, everyone? מה גדלו מעשיך היה, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. צדיק אתה אמר
About 15 years ago, my uncle died from cancer. It had been his second bout. About 40 years earlier, he had beat the odds to survive Hodgkin's lymphoma. As we gathered in the family room at the mortuary just before the funeral, my grandmother, his mother, said something I will never forget. Through her tears, she said, "God has been good to me. God gave me 40 extra years with Marty." I couldn't believe it. Here she was in her 80s, bearing her second and last child, and she was commenting that God had been good to her. The truth is, she had every right to be angry with God. Her daughter had died many years earlier as a young woman. Her husband had also died young, and now her son, with whom she was very close, had died in his 60s. I couldn't begin to imagine her pain. Yet as she sat there with tears in her eyes, she had the strength to believe that God had been good to her. As her granddaughter and as a newly minted rabbi, I was in awe of her ability to recognize and articulate her gratitude amidst her grief. We all know that an excess of money does not buy an excess of happiness. Sure, there's a level at which money can provide stability and the opportunity to pursue happiness, but having money does not inherently make us happy. But gratitude can, and gratitude is free. In fact, study after study shows us that people who report the highest satisfaction in their own lives and the highest level of happiness are those who also report being the most grateful. Too often, we focus on the annoyances of life. We focus on what we lack, the hassles of everyday living that take up way too much space in our mind and cloud out the wonderful things we experience. Think about the last time someone asked how your day was. Do you answer, "It was pretty good. I was mostly productive except for a couple of annoying things"? Or Do we focus on the interruptions and those small annoyances with an answer like, "You wouldn't believe what happened," and then we tell of the 1 or 2 moments that somebody either screwed up or negatively impacted us? As a hospice rabbi for 6 years, I worked with countless families as they were preparing to say goodbye to their loved ones. Often, when I told people what I did for work, they expressed how sad they thought my job must be. But to many people's surprise, I actually found my work to be quite the opposite. You see, as a hospice rabbi, I would come into the families' lives once they had already learned that they themselves or their loved ones were terminal. I was not the one that had to deliver the devastating news. I was the one that had the holy task of helping them make sense of it. Whether I was working with the patient themselves or with their family members, my job, my holy job, was to help identify the meaning they had had in their lives. When faced with the end of life, we are much more apt to let go of our struggles and to focus on the important and beautiful parts of our life. This doesn't mean ignoring the true sadness or hardships we faced, but choosing to focus on the meaning and the beauty. In Everyday Holiness, Alan Moranis writes about gratitude. When you open yourself to experience the trait of gratitude, you discover with clarity and accuracy how much good there is in your life. Whatever you are lacking, you will still be missing. And of course, in reaching for gratitude, no one is saying you ought to put on rose-colored glasses to obscure the shortcomings. The Hebrew term for gratitude is hakarat hatov, which means literally recognizing the good. The good is already there. Practicing gratitude means being fully aware of the good that is already yours. If you've lost your job but you have your family and health, you have something to be grateful for. If you can't move around except in a wheelchair, but your mind is as sharp as ever, you have something to be grateful for. If you've broken a string on your violin and you still have 3 more, you have something to be grateful for. What Alan Moranis is teaching is that we have a choice. We have a choice whether to focus on what we lack or the blessings that are present in our lives. In that moment 15 years ago, my grandmother chose to focus on the extra 40 years my uncle had after beating his first bout of cancer, rather than all the years he would miss by his untimely death. As we reach the end of every funeral, we say the Kaddish. I often explain to the mourners present that this is a prayer of gratitude and exaltation. At a time when we want to look to the heavens and say, "How could you?" or "Why?" we are instead instructed to look to the heavens and say, "Thank you. Thank you for putting this person into my life." Why do we take time to thank God when our instincts might be to curse God? Because ultimately our sadness is the result of the beauty that that person brought into our lives. If that person had been insignificant in our lives, then our feelings of loss would be insignificant. Only because that person was meaningful to us do we mourn their absence. And so we thank God for creating the person and putting them into our lives, because whether they were in our lives for many years or far too few, their presence enriched our lives. So while there is sadness in their passing, there is also gratitude in their living. This week, we will read the penultimate portion of the Torah, Ha'azinu. In it, Moses is giving his farewell sermon before he is to go up to Mount Nebo, look out across the land of Israel that he himself will never enter, and die. In his farewell song, he reminds us of both the blessings and the curses that God is capable of. Moses cautions us to continue to follow God's rules or face the repercussions. But Moses also reassures us that no matter what happens, in the end, God will forgive us and bring us home. Life is a mix of blessings and curses. As we begin this new year, may we open ourselves up to finding and experiencing the gratitude that is in our lives, rather than focusing on the negative. Shana Tova and Shabbat Shalom. We rise on page 146 for the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta.
148.
Torah u'mitzvot u'kihom mishpatim otanu limadeta, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbenu u'kumenu nasiach בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואוהב ימינו ובהם נגד יומם בלילה יומם בלילה ואהבך תשים ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמן. אין זולתו, ואנחנו ישראל עמו. עבורנו מיד מלכים הגולנו מכך כל העריצים. אמת ואמונה כל זאת ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו הריהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לכהנו שירה בשמחה רבה יאמרו כולם.
That means everyone sang this song. Like Miriam, with timbrels in hand.
וגאלום יד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. השיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום לשלום והעמידנו שומרינו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. אמן. השיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום, להעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות, את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת, שבת וינפת. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את Rise for the Amidah, page 155. Adonai, Sotai Tiftach. Adonai, Sefatai Kiftach. תהילתך. אדוני שפתי תפתח, אדוני שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך, ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע. מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומעביר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו ראשוני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך אב הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללו הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We now offer a prayer for healing. Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech et HaCholim. Seth Corwin, Chana Rachel Bat Bluma Sarah Venachemia Gital, Muriel Goldstein, Genia Katz, Sarah Late, Susan King, Reuven Ben Rachel, Andrew Patchen, Madison Phillips, Asna Bat Rachel Yaakov, Stephen Rackmill, Seth Samuels, Michael Schwartz, Jane Stone, Samuel Weinberg. And if there are people for whom you are praying for healing and you'd like to share their names out loud or in your hearts or on the chat, please do so now. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and for their strength to be revived. And let us say, Amen. We continue with the Aleinu on page 282, and we rise as we are able.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gdolal yotzei breshit, shelo asano kegoyei haratzot, velo samano kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא השמיים ויסר הארץ ומשל יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים ואלוהינו אינו אמת מלכנו את בזולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבביך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל והארץ מתחת אין אור ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך הכל על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד
Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed from this earth. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We extend our sympathies to those who have lost loved ones in recent weeks, remembering Christopher Ryan Baumler, Richard Oberfield, Frank Mitchell Turkheimer, Natan Vishlitsky. And we remember the following yahrzeits of years past: Harry Bodner, Lillian Deutsch, Bertold Dorfler, Helen Dragan, Gertrude Eisenstein, Matilda Erstein, Joan Feldman Clemens, Julius Zecki Goose, May Greenspan, Paul Hamburger, Mildred Wash Horowitz, Faye Horowitz, Celia Korpatkin, Sheldon Kay, Elsa Klein, Joel P. Lander, Adam Lipton, Dick Quigley, Abraham Rappaport, Ethel Reef, Nellie Reef, Linda Rosenbaum, Claudia Schoenfeld, Marty Sklar, Irving Sturm, Isidore Weinstein, Samuel Lewis Welts, Erwin Widelitz, Luba Zilberman. And if there are people for whom you are saying Kaddish and you'd like to share their names out loud or in your hearts or on the chat, please do so now. We turn to page 294 for the Mourner's Kaddish and rise as one community as we are able. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach hiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'bizman kariv imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
We close our service with words of blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and may God protect you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May God's face shine upon you and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom. May you feel God's presence with you always and may God give you wholeness and peace.
Amen. Oseh shalom. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.